But it gets worse than just bad ratings because now you're starting to see the consequences of what happens when a network becomes completely consumed by political narratives instead of facts. And one of the clearest examples of that right now is Abby Phillip. Abby Phillip is supposed to be a journalist. She's supposed to be hosting discussions and presenting facts. But instead, what you're getting is propaganda. And now she's facing calls to be fired after pushing a claim on air about a terrorist attack in New York City that turned out to be completely false. And what actually happened was radical Islamic extremists throwing bombs outside of Zohran Mudami mansion while protesters were gathered there. But when Abby Phillip went on air, she told the already tiny audience that still has left. CNN still has left that Mudami himself was the target of the attack. In other words, she flipped the entire story upside down. And it didn't stop there because during the same segment, Anna Navarro repeated the same claim, right? Um, of basically telling the audience, the tiny audience on CNN, that Mudami himself was the target of attack. So Abby Phillip didn't correct it at all. No pushback, no clarification, nothing, which tells you a lot about whether this was actually a mistake or something else. Now I want you guys to check out this next clip in regards of the matter. When it comes to that whole segment, check it out.
Up next, two Republicans say Muslims don't belong here after an attempted terror attack against New York's Mayor Zohran Mamdani, and the House Speaker Mike Johnson says nothing really to condemn those comments. Another special guest is going to be with us at the table when we come back. Speaker Mike Johnson has a rhetoric problem on his hands after two of his members made anti-Muslim comments. This week, Congressman Andy Ogles wrote on social media that Muslims don't belong in American society, that pluralism is a lie, and in a post today, he called Muslims barbarians. Congressman Randy Fine is also facing backlash over his post calling for Muslims to be deported and pushing to denaturalize American citizens. And tonight, Johnson acknowledged speaking with both men, but stopped short of condemning their language.
There's a lot of energy in the country and a lot of popular sentiment that the demand to impose Sharia law in America is a serious problem. That's what animates this, and that's the the language that people use. It's different language than I would use, but I think that that's a serious issue.
Founder and executive director of the National Security Institute, Jamil Jaffer, joins us in our fifth seat. And Jamil, do you think that this is really all about the fear that there's really going to be Sharia law installed here in the United States?
Well, that's not what Randy Fine or Andy Ogles said. What Andy Ogles said was Muslims